Hello boys, it's me Yoshi here, and welcome back to my 100%, well, actually, just on our Pokemon Shield DLC run. I don't know. I'm so used to saying 100% of Pokemon stat that I've just kind of gotten in my mind, and I don't really expect that, but anyways, this is gonna be Crown Tundra Part 3, hopefully finishing part of its main storyline, but for now, the game told us to do a legendary hunt, and this time we are actually going to do it proper. I mentioned how I was having a little bit of problems doing some other stuff, or maybe getting other things to work, but now things have changed slightly, and I think we can probably do this a lot better than what we were able to do before. So, anyways, we finished off the Isle of Armor's full storyline. This time, full storyline. There was actually a slight extension afterwards that had to be done, but once we did that, that was done, and now we are going to be trying to take on all of the legendary Pokemon here. I'll probably use skips and other stuff to do a couple of things because some of these are a little bit tricky, I will admit. So for Zapdos, there's not a good way to catch it. Instead, it'll just keep on randomly running around the arena at completely random times, and you're basically just forced to chase it. It's similar to how the other birds work, except you can't just necessarily go the easy way every time. You have to try and cut it off, and you do that by cutting the corners as sharp as possible so you can try and spike it as you go through. And as it runs, it'll slowly get tired, but because of the way it runs, we can't really dodge any Pokemon, so you might see us get into a few counters here and there. That's probably because of the way it's set up, but that's fine. We'll just use quick balls on him. I doubt Legends will ever be caught with the quick ball, but we will definitely give it a try because of its high multiplier. We got some decent luck the first time we caught someone though, so it's probably not gonna work this time. But yeah, anyways, we catch up to this boy, and we finally get to encounter him. I went so fast I didn't actually save at all. Gotta try it at least once. I'm just gonna use this. I want to actually kill it. I don't know what its type is, so we're gonna swap to Glade, use one Psycho Cut, and see what happens. The problem is it even a regular Pokemon anymore? I think it might be flying. Also, I should be putting a focus sash on him because, yeah, that's not fun when you just have him get KO'd instantly like that. This beam bot away. Alright, we need to just do regular revives, honestly. Since if he could just do that, there's no point. We can use our water type to do a couple of rare ones. Wow, just to make it even more annoying, we get oh, the focus sash just went away. Okay. Maybe that's not the best. Okay, we need to at least attempt to hack him. Okay, that was a bit more. This will always kill no matter what, because he's at 1 HP, but I forced that because I'm trying to use Psycho Cut with my blade, but it was too fast for me. Figures. I'm gonna actually Hypnosis it instead then. Now it's trying reverse again. Virtually that's not gonna work really well. I just got a miss. Okay. That's not fun. And Argilla is probably gonna take us out. Now the problem with these Pokemon is probably almost immediate. It's the fact that we can do stuff. We have to test this now, honestly. If it barely kills, then we know we can potentially use it safe, but we also know that it could potentially crit. So please no crit, maybe. Okay, yeah, that's definitely a lot better. Oh, and it didn't even show me this big move. Another crit. What's with all the crits today? Not really a good way to deal with Jilpek, unfortunately, so probably gonna have to keep on reviving, swapping, and doing other stuff until something finally happens. That wasn't even a crit, apparently. Okay. Come on, I just want to hit you with a Hypnosis. Good, it was an idiot. Alright, we're just gonna ball now. Fortunately, the game doesn't really tell us what to do if we have any special things. Now, if I was going for this in a regular play and not forced to a schedule, I'd actually be using Dust Balls to get this Zapdos in. That's the idea, I believe, of what you want to do. Because that allows you to get it in slightly better. But anyway. Okay, that one took a few more, but at least we got it early enough. Okay. Zapdos was caught in the wild area. Oh, it's me, Peony. How's your expedition going? Come again? You found the legendary Pokemon Zapdos? Now it's really something. Now go track down the other bird Pokemon. Nice. Alright. There we go. That fixes that problem. Now, in terms of doing the full main storyline, I will be at least showing that part. But anyway. I'm gonna try to use the Glade strategy this time. Maybe more properly. Have it, Thunder Wave, and then once the Thunder Wave is off, I will then switch to to try and weaken it. And if for some reason I kill it at that point, it'd be kind of silly, so then I'll just use other stuff. But anyway, we're gonna fly to this specific point and then drop down a specific save once I get to something else. I forget exactly how you want to do this, but in this area peak near the top, there will be a weird teleport you can take where you'll find a proof that potentially Articuno will have spawned. And once you do that, I believe you have to go all the way to the top to an area to have it then get chased to a secret area. Unlike before, this Pokemon will always go to a set location. And from there, you'll then want to wait for it in a specific location, which will then cause it to trigger something a little bit more interesting. This is where we're supposed to wait on it. Now, this doesn't always seem to work for a lot of players. Sometimes he won't even show up. What makes it so interesting is that since it runs on a specific cycle, that means we may have already beaten it there as far as we know. Okay, no, we have to reload this and try again. We have to keep on doing this until Articuno actually properly shows up. What you're looking for is for it to see an animation of him flying, but then you have to follow them. You'll always get the sound telling you that Articuno is nearby. Oh, there he goes. Finally, we see him. It may be random where he actually goes to. No, you don't. As far as I know, this peak area is the only way to find Articuno normally. You have to get to a certain spot where you could then wait for it around this area normally. I guess one thing that might make Glade a little bit bad, well, yes, he is able to run a lot of moves, but he has surprisingly low defense, so against these birds, he's not really the best. He's normally actually really good, because he has multiple typings, multiple ways of blocking it, as well as several other things that could be dealt with. Okay, clearly this isn't working. If I could figure out exactly where this thing gone based off of the camera angle, I could maybe figure out something. I'm honestly not sure if I'm doing anything wrong, because I'm pretty sure this guy actually just straight up has a random spawn starting from when you leave the area, and as a result, you may not necessarily go in the same spot every single time. We hear the sound, so I know we're getting close. It's just, I don't know where else we could go after. Oh, wait a minute. This is the Ron thing. I just realized I hadn't found the sun for Regice yet, and that's probably what I've been missing. Did this trigger something? Please tell me it triggered something. I'm not sure if it did. Okay, alright. We're getting into battles because we're not looking where we're going. Oh, there we go. Now Articuno's actually spawned in. So it's all just a trick. We needed to go from a very specific path in a very specific way in order to trigger him to appear. So if you're not in a certain spot, he'll do the lure but not even follow you, which is a bit annoying. But anyways, once Articuno is set up, he will always stop in the same spot every time. Now, time for one of the strangest strategies I've probably ever developed. I'll try and do this decently fast, and from there we'll kind of just see what happens. And of course we're using a quick ball at the start, because skipping this would be really incredible. But otherwise, I might... Actually, now I think of it, if it's going to be that bad, I'm probably not... Shouldn't even bother quick balling. Anyways, before we do this, there's a really specific strategy that has to be done as a setup. Otherwise, he will die from hail, because as you see, it is currently hailing right now, and right now we do not have a good way to deal with hail. So how are we going to deal with that? By replacing two of some of our weakest Pokemon with Pelipper and Torkoal, and we have to swap them in every several turns or so to use Weather. It is bad because every few turns, they'll probably die, so we'll have to waste extra time reviving them just so that we can swap the lever back again, just so we can swap to other stuff to get through other things. Now, the game recommends to start with something else, but since he doesn't necessarily take damage right away, I'm going to actually start with slightly a different strategy here. And then... So, yes, I'm going to switch in. So, I switch in these specific Pokemon because of their ability, and I'll go ahead and confirm it for you. It is very hard to do this without specifically one Pokemon with Drought and one Pokemon with Drizzle. And why is that? Because it makes it rain and or sunny immediately. And you can make that last the entire battle. And that is pretty crazy as a result. So, yeah. You can see how useful it is. And if you time it right, you can trigger it every single turn for as long as you live. Or even just let the hail sort of do some of the damaging for you. But then your Pokemon will probably die. So, I'll try and do the fast strategy, but we'll see how it works. This one, we'd have to save... Not just once, but twice, too. Because when we go up here, there will be an Articuno trigger here. That'll do a very quick spawn, which it's not really easy to tell which one's which. So if you get the wrong one, he'll just fly away. And what does he do? What do we do when that happens? We have to reset. So yeah, we're gonna probably see this menu a little bit. I'm not cutting out any of this, so yeah. Now the switch is kind of fast, so it is not easy at all to track him down. I probably should just focus for this part. After you trigger his second animation, he will attack, and you can still swap Pokemon during that. Okay. Okay, it would really help if that bear tick had not gone in the way. Yeah, literally that bear tick ruined the entire adventure for me. I was just trying to do this from a decent distance, and he had to show up at the worst possible time and ruin it. Gosh dang it, bear tick. Okay, hopefully that does not happen again. Hopefully I actually get it this time. So, we were obviously not close enough there, so we have to go a bit closer. Beyond that, it's just a 1 in 3 chance to actually get it, and it's not really knowledgeable to know exactly where it is. I'm just gonna lock my eyes onto one and try that. And he runs away every time he does this. But we could do the setup again, and it probably could be decently quick. As you see, resetting is just way quicker. So we're gonna have to retrigger the minigame until we finally win it. There's not a good way of knowing exactly where he is. Yo, because Beartick is in a way, I might actually have to bump into that to trigger a battle. Screw it, we're gonna remove him. Move this Beartick from my freaking face so I can finally take a look at that from the distance that I want. So we're gonna trigger a fight and then run. And now we can do this a little bit more in peace. I still can't tell where it is. It goes way too fast, dude. Yeah, at this point, I think I'm just gonna use fast strategies and hope for good luck. And what I mean by fast strategies, I mean literally just standing in one place until you get a 1 in 3 chance. And yes, because I'm bad. This game, I clearly can't follow where he's going. I may have to make a secondary save with Beartick out, just because it keeps all of the Pokemon that appeared from last spot. And he appearing there is a bit annoying. And still he triggered a battle with us. Yeah, it looks like we're probably gonna have to just trigger a battle with him, save, and then to hopefully get some different stuff to happen. But anyway, oh, that re-triggers that again. Yeah, we're just gonna have to stand here. Trigger this at Virus. There's not a good way to know of which one is going to be which. So you pretty much just have to wait and hope that he does stuff. I'm not sure if it spins the same way every time, but it seems to appear in that one particular spot quite an awfully lot. So I'm gonna go up there instead. I hope that that works out better for me. Clearly my position is off. Could you not trigger a fight this time, Beartick? Yeah, that'd be nice. We're gonna stand here instead. There we go, now we got the real one. As soon as you get the real one, you are to save your game immediately, because then the next part will be the actual fight. He kind of tricks you too. He's like, oh, I'm not gonna fight you, and now I'm like, oh wait, never mind, I don't like you, I'm gonna fight you anyway. During these first attempts, I'll make sure to use a Quick Ball. Yes, I am still using Quick Balls. I don't really care. Okay, at least I survived that, but... If I do ever do previous attempts, I'll probably skip the Quick Ball and go straight for the Thunder Wave here. Actually, considering he's just doing that, okay, that is way too early to lose my Glade. I'm gonna just straight up immediately reset that until we get Thunder Wave to connect, because we need this Thunder Wave to connect right away. And dang it, my Glade is too slow, too. It might be a really slow Glade I got there, which is not good. It does start at level 65, unfortunately, so I don't really have much of a choice on how to hit speed. But anyways, same animation again. This time we're going to go straight for Thunder. Or Wave plus just False Swipe. This is one reason why you want to Thunder Wave, because if you Thunder Wave an opponent, they will definitely be slower than you, because that is part of what happens. Which is why it's so important to use that, which is probably why his speed won't actually matter most of the time. But anyways, one more quick fight with Psycho Cut later, and that'll be all we attack with. At least for a little bit. Maybe not. Okay, we're gonna do a bit more. Yeah, I'm using sort of a speed strategy, so we are keeping him paralyzed, but also letting him take damage for the hail, just so I won't have as much stuff to deal with, and from there we'll probably just manipulate its HP using hail. So I think nobody really mentioned this, but for this next part I'm not going to actually use Pulse Swipe at all if this goes correctly. Instead, I'm just going to go straight for the ball and try and do some stuff, and then when its HP gets manipulated down into the red, I will then do a strategy into False Swipe to try and kill it. And from there, I'll just spam balls. But other than that, we're going to start with just throwing our normal Ultra Balls, like we've been doing before. I was about to say, do I not have enough? That'd be bad, if that's the case. Very important to have Paralysis along with a weakened Articuno, because that'll make it a lot easier. Oh, wow. It is still not in the red. Now, this thing is a tank. This thing is an absolute tank. Jeez Louise. Alright. Well, none of those worked, so clearly he's much better than the enemies that came before him. Thankfully, his actual iconic move is a little bit weak right now. You never know. Okay, here we go. Alright. Now's where the really trolly part begins. So in order to make this next strategy work, we're gonna summon Pelipper and change the weather, so that way he doesn't get damaged. Because otherwise, we will lose the ability to catch Articuno after a little while. This is why you want Drizzle. It's just for this. To change the weather, so that way you do not have to deal with that. But because of all the weak stuff, unfortunately, Pelipper and Hilo are very likely to die, so what we're going to do is probably waste a turn to revive them after each setup, just for safety. And from there, we're just going to throw balls and hope for the best otherwise. And yes, we're going to use this a bunch of time. Unfortunately, a side effect of using her spot is that a hurricane always hits, so that makes that part a little bit annoying. I do have some birds of my own that I could use to potentially protect from some stuff. Having Zemensta is probably really decent for this battle, but other than that... Okay, so I'll show you how to do the info phage. Just select anything, and you'll see this option pop up that says Rain 3 out of 5. That's how many turns you have left before you have to switch. Your goal is to switch on the last turn, and from there, that is it. There's nothing else you need to do. So it's kind of annoying because of this. If we're using the best strategy, we're only going to get 3 balls in each time we use that. Like right here, we're going to get 1 ball. We could still use the 1 HP trick, and we probably could have used it a bit sooner, but I decided to do that. Oh, what is this? I forgot that this move exists. Psycho Shift? Oh, it just gives me his ability. But really? Okay, now that's just annoying. Okay, now he's just being a jerk. Well, that's bad, because now we suddenly have to revive Glade and survive another attack, so that forces us into using a max revive. Okay, rain out 2 of 5. And yes, this could take a little bit slom, but right now it's bad. Okay, I have a statistician on me. So I didn't know that's what that did, so he could just straight up remove a status whenever he wants to. That is unfair, honestly. Absolutely unfair, if you ask me. We're gonna have to revive here and use another instant death strategy to do that. And by the way, when you do the switch, you cannot use the same Pokemon you got again. You have to use a different one, so that means every time we switch, we are going to switch to either Torkoal, if it's burning, if it's not burning hot, like if it's raining, so that'll change it to sunny. And this just prevents that effect from happening that I mentioned earlier. Okay, from the looks of it, it doesn't actually have a flying type move. Well, actually, wait, no, it does, in the form of Hurricane, but not much I can really do here. Yeah, I'm gonna actually do the strat. Okay, so because we did that annoying feign for some reason, I have to swap back to Glade, use Thunder Wave on it again, because it happened to get lucky with using Psycho Shift. That's probably the worst move it could have done out of all of them, because we have to bring back Glade to use this. And then do another swap because of that, which basically means we lose almost all of our time that we could have spent blading otherwise. So because of that, we're actually already down to... You know what, I'm not... Because it was so bad, I'm not going to even let this happen normally. So we're gonna switch back to Pelipper a little bit early here, just to trigger this. Hopefully we get something else, please. So anyways, we've activated the Drizzle ability, which triggers this again. Okay, good. It's not using Psycho Shift. It'd be kind of dumb for it to use it anyways. Now, Zementia being paralyzed is not a big deal. He will always still be the same. And again, I'm adding extra stuff to it. But now we can finally start throwing balls at this guy again. And I might start using aggressive strategies here. Potentially. But right now I need to use a revive. And yes, this one battle for some reason is more annoying than the other two. Just because of hail. If it wasn't hailing, it would be much easier, but every time I see a Hurricane, that is a bad move. Because it is absolutely terrifying. Again, I am not going to be attacking with Zemensta, so it getting confused literally means nothing. That's even going to wear off once it comes out, so that literally does nothing. So now we get free ball chances here. There we go. That's more like it. As you can see, this takes quite a while. I have to start looping this now, so hopefully we can, So when it gets down to 105, that means the rain is about to stop, and if we don't stop, then the hail will come right back and just troll us. So it's kind of annoying that we even have to switch out at all. This time we are going to go for the more greedy play and just keep these guys in. Because we need to start throwing balls here. Otherwise, nothing's gonna happen. I'm gonna try and just skip using the revive on this next turn in particular. If it gets really bad, I'll throw revives along with a max revive here. Okay, yeah, we have free ball chances here now. Oh, Zemensta avoided it. Now, I did not choose to set its HP at 1, so just in case we mess up, we can still do some stuff. I could use Pelper's turn to revive now that I think of it. That'd probably be even smarter. Oh, there goes that thing again. I'm just gonna use this to catch. I don't care anymore. It's so annoying that it has that move in the first place. Psycho Sift alone makes this battle a lot more annoying than it needs to be. It's not even a useful move for it normally. It's just annoying in the fact that it gives... In case you're wondering, that just gave him... my Pokemon the status move he had, which, because it was paralysis, makes me paralyzed for no reason whatsoever, and it's kind of annoying. I don't like it. And the reason why it's annoying is because every single time that happens, I have to go back to Glade and use the other stuff. Okay, it tried to use it again, but thankfully it failed because it had no status elements on it. And yes, this is one of the more brutal of the birds. The legendaries are supposed to be really hard to catch normally, but... And yes, this one strategy is what makes this so brutal in the beginning. Okay, which Pokemon I use is probably not going to matter. So I'm going to actually swap to Torkoal early and drop down a quick revive right here. It's probably going to start struggling next. If it actually can struggle, then that might be bad. Okay, I think I found sort of a loop that I can go for. Just use Torkoal's turn to revive, and we can keep the loop going. But you can see how annoying it is Like, the way it's set up, the damage is just way too much for these guys to withstand, so we keep on having to use heals, rares, and other stuff. And because of Zemensta getting paralyzed along with other things, we also have to use a heal here, which is a little bit annoying. Because I was hoping to use this defense to help out a little bit, but not quite there just yet. We have max potions we can use. We don't want to cure ourselves of paralysis because in case we have to switch back to okay, there's another Psycho Shift attempt. And yes, each of these balls have different multipliers. There's lots of tricks, by the way, that they do a lot. Like, that's probably, like, the third time now that it's tricked me into thinking that it's a good match, but it's not. This is a really brutal battle, by the way. I do not like it already. Of all the legends, this has got to be one of the most annoying ones to catch, just because of the way you're supposed to catch it is so annoying. Not to even have to deal with this lever at all is annoying enough. Ooh, it was dumb and decided to use that shift thing again. Psycho Shift. Time for another revive. If I can actually find it. I've not used this many revives in a while, by the way. You can tell how annoying this battle is. I think ideally, if you get decent luck, Okoon would normally stay alive a little bit longer. But it's all random, so there's not really a good way to know about that. And yes, all of these Pokemon were freshly caught. No grinding whatsoever. If they are level 100, it might be a bit easier, but other than that, not really good. Goodness. Wait, what am I doing? I wanted to do that. Okay. Okay, good. I was about to out, but then it finally ended. So that ends the misery that is this battle. Yeah, I say misery. It is actually kind of a miserable battle. I don't like it. Is a Psychic and Flying instead of Ice and Flying this time. Alright. Arcoa was caught in the Crown Tundra. Better report back to Chief Peony. Well, we'll do just that. What, you really caught Articuno for the Belgians? That's ultra mega brilliant, we're far away. So that's Articuno, is it? The legendary Pokemon that can manipulate ice? I see the resemblance, but I got this dodgy mask. It's got this dodgy mask on and everything, and it hardly seems cold at all, does it? Oh well, it's got one ultra mega icy glaze. That's Articuno enough for me. Let's call this episode assess. Got anything else you want to talk about? Moltres. What, you really caught Moltres from the Legends? That's Ultra Mega Brilliant. So that's Moltres, is it? The legendary Pokemon that's the embodiment of fire? I definitely see the resemblance, but it's not all that hot to the touch. Kind of looks like it'd be more home with the punks in Spike Mouth than in a volcano, does it? Oh well, looks like it's a little bit... Looks like it's burning if you don't look too close. That's Belcher's enough for me, I suppose. Let's call that expedition well done. Wait, you really caught Zapdos for the legends? So that's Zapdos, is it? The legendary Pokemon that could cause thunderstorms? I definitely see the resemblance, but those legs look thicker than I expected. It's not exactly electrifying, is it? Oh well, it's spiky and long... As long beat as I was hoping for. That Zapdos enough for me, I suppose. Let's mark this expedition complete. Like you have reported all there is on legendary Koofy and the legendary Brimps. Sashing, I mark this expedition done. Doo-doo. Never mind. Now, the Legendary Giant quest is probably going to be an own part of potential annoyance. We honestly don't know how bad it might be. It really depends. Now, because of how long some of that stuff take, I don't want to take any more chances on this. So we're going to see our progress and end the episode right here, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.